Let's say you're a UX designer and you've decided to try freelancing, but even after trying very hard, you don't get good clients. So you think, let's apply for jobs. But then you feel bad about working for someone, or going to office, or just losing that sense of freedom, or even have a fear of making less money. So in this video, I'm gonna give you the unfiltered truth and help you understand which career path is better for you, job or freelancing. So without wasting any further time, let's get started. So this entire video is split into 3 modules. We'll first understand what is the difference behind starting a freelance career versus starting in a job. I'll give you some real unfiltered truth about how the salaries change over time, how the dynamics change over time, and what happens in the first year, in the third year, and in the 9 years once you follow the freelance path versus the jobs path. Then I'll give you a step-by-step career roadmap, which would be different for a person who's in school, a person who has just entered college, not a design college but any college, and a person who's about to graduate or is in a different job altogether. So each of these roadmaps are carefully designed keeping in mind your situation, but of course I would not know all the variables that you have going on, right? So you need to be very open-minded when you listen to this advice and pick things that are compatible with your situation. And then at the very end, I will share some free resources and again a roadmap with some articles and references that you can use post the video. So let's start with module number 1, where we understand what happens when somebody starts as a freelancer versus in a job. So let's check the salary graph first as to what happens. See, when somebody freelance, and I'm assuming that this person is a legit strong designer. So let's just say that you become a strong UX designer and then you have 2 options in front of you. One is a freelance career, one is a job that you literally just start working for either a small startup or a good company. In year 1, the person who freelance makes more money, and right now I've just added arbitrary numbers. These are just to like motivate you. In reality, the numbers can be lower, they can also be higher, but we are just taking like an average case here that if you're a very good designer through freelancing, you can easily make around 12 lakh rupees per annum. And don't make this into 1 lakh rupees per month. So with freelancers, they might make 2-3 lakh rupees in a single month and then not have any work in the upcoming months, right? So in totality, they always end up making more in their year number 1, whereas a person who enters a job would not make that much of money because again, the job market is very competitive. By year 2, this person might jump from 12 lakh to 16 lakh, where the person who's in the job might go from 8 to 12 LPA. So the amount of money that the freelancer is working in year 1 would now be matched in year number 2. But now when we go to year 3, you'd realize that the gap between the job person and the freelance person is slightly decreasing. So at this point, in most cases, the person who's in a job is at a senior design position, the company trusts her, so this person can make more money than usual. Whereas for the freelancer, things are becoming difficult to scale because it's very difficult to keep getting good clients. It's difficult to hire people who stay with you for a longer time. So now by year 3, the freelancer is having difficulties in increasing the same level of income month by month. By year 5, you will see a huge shift in the way the job person makes money, because for the freelancer, again, it's very difficult to increase that money year on year. But by this time, this person has probably shifted into a bigger brand, and now that big brand is already making millions in revenue, right? Or they have raised millions of dollars in funding. So this person has officially started to make more money by year 5. And when we come to year 9, the person who's in a job who has been compounding experience, compounding brand names, going through mentorship, this person has officially surpassed the freelancer by a huge margin. So almost a margin of, let's just say, 12 lakh per annum, which was the amount of money that they were making in year 1 itself. Now, of course, this is a fictional case, but I'm telling you, it is based on true stories. Let's take at the glamour quotient, right? Because this is something that a lot of young kids would relate with. Freelancing job in year number 1 is very glamorous because you would find this freelancer buying gadgets, buying clothes, traveling, calling himself or herself a digital nomad, doing all these cool things while you are in the office, scrolling through Instagram, looking at other people taking holidays, asking yourself, is this the right thing? Is 9 to 5 the right thing for me? Trust me, it is. It is not as bad as people say. And even though your year 1 would have less glamour, you'll have less time on your hands. When we talk about year 10, the freelancer would have low glamour because by then everybody is going to be like, why are you not in a big brand? Like, if you're that good, why have you not joined Google? Why have you not joined Microsoft? Where is your car? Where's your house? Where's your insurance policy? Where's your team? Where's your office, right? And this person would still say that, yeah, I've sort of opened an agency. I have 15-16 people on board. I get clients for 5 to 6 months. So very few freelancers actually end up opening very successful agencies, but a lot of freelancers either keep freelancing or they open a small company where they do servicing for other people, right? But scaling that is very, very tough. Now, I'm not saying that whatever I'm saying right now is going to apply to every single person. There are exceptions. I personally know a lot of freelancers who are now making 10 times, 15 times more money simply because they have quickly transitioned into a services business, right? But I'm keeping in mind a very normal person, right? Because we're actually talking about a normal person like you and I who would go through this path. And when it comes to the person who's in a job, by year 10, this person has officially elevated to a managerial position where the compounding has taken its place. So a lot of glamour comes later on, and then you have even more time to spend with your family. So you'd probably save up enough money for a better house or for a better car and stuff like that. So the lesson here is that you need to ask yourself, why do you want to choose a job versus why do you want to do freelancing? Because both of them have their pros and cons. Let's understand why people choose to apply freelancing over jobs in the first place. One is they think that they can earn more money, but the thing is they might earn more money now. Very few people tell them the reality that applies in 10 years of compounding, right? So they don't realize that they will earn less later on. Next, they don't want a boss or an office. Suddenly, because of this social media trend, everybody says that do freelancing, become an entrepreneur, do this, do that. And it makes sense, right? Like it makes sense for some people who have got that idea, who are by default that charming, that comfortable speaking in front of the camera, who are that smooth. But not everybody can pull it off. It is not that easy. The market is very saturated. So you need to be very real with yourself. Are you even that good? And if you're not good, you should be working with a boss. You should be working with a mentor. You should be working with a person who can guide you and shape you and mold you into becoming a better person. And what is wrong with going to the office? The thing is, if you're good at what you do, if you get into a good company, their offices are amazing. I have been to Swiggy. They have an amazing life. Their office is amazing. It was so inspiring to go into their offices, have all that amazing food, and the employees were great. The culture is great. I have so many people who are working at Microsoft, Adobe, and they keep appreciating the kind of things that they have in their office. Like it is such a good life, right? So the point is, if you're very good at what you do, you can actually crack a very, very good job and then enjoy your office, right? And live near the office. If you're making more money, you can probably shift it to an apartment that is near your office, so you don't even have to waste that much of time traveling. Third point, a lot of people are not getting a job. So this is the most difficult spot to be in, because most people say, if I'm not getting a job, I should probably freelance, without knowing that freelancing clients are 10 times tougher. Freelancing clients are brutal. In your job, even if you mess up on Monday, they will still forgive you, probably like be angry at you for 2-3 days, but by Thursday you will be back on track. Freelance clients, they will squeeze every single penny out of you. They are not that simple, right? So it's not all green and lush in every single freelance career, right? So if you're planning to do freelancing because of these 3 reasons, think again, right? So let me share my journey, right? So you can take some clues on what happened in my case. So I did freelancing before I could officially get a job, right? So if I'm in school or if I'm in college, I can't get a job because I don't even have a degree. I am too young to actually go to office. If you're very young to go to office, then you can use your idle time. And please note, I'm saying free time, spare time, and idle time, not the time that you need to invest in your education, your health, and your nutrition. I'm saying if you have free time, you can first use that to upskill yourself, and after a point, if you feel like you want to put your skills at test, you can do freelancing. And there are multiple freelancing websites on the internet. You don't need me for that, right? There is Upwork, there is TopTal, there is Internshala, there is Behance, there is Dribbble, there is even LinkedIn. Even on LinkedIn, they do a lot of hiring. I will put all these links in description if you want, but basically many opportunities for you to freelance. So what I did is I started doing freelancing. I got my first clients from Internshala. So that is where I got my first client from, and I got paid 8,000 rupees per month. And this is about 2018 or 2019. Okay, so at that time I was earning 8,000 rupees per month, but I was working very hard. I was working super hard all the time because I had a lot of free time in my college, because I used to stay in a hostel, right? And I never used to go out, didn't play video games, not a very big fan of TV shows as well. So I used to freelance, and that gave me a good portfolio to apply for my jobs. You can also do this. Even if you're in a different job in evening, you can do freelancing just to become very good. Then I entered a good branded internship. So once I entered my 4th year, I realized that nobody is going to give me job directly. I need to prove my mettle, right? So I started asking for internships. This is one thing that a lot of students do wrong. They keep asking for jobs. Why are you not asking for 3-month contracts? Why are you not asking for internships? Because the bar of expectation is very, very low. So I entered a good branded internship, and Swiggy showed me how amazing jobs can be. Because just like you, even when I was young, right, I had this fascination with being an entrepreneur and doing things on my own. I don't need a brand, blah, 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 this and that. I will learn everything from YouTube. And I realized, no, I can't learn everything from YouTube. There's a certain ceiling that you hit, right? So Swiggy showed me how amazing this subject can be, and they really inspired me to dig deeper, right? And then after my internship ended, I realized that maybe I have high risk appetite, so I can join a startup, because there would be so many things that I could do, because I'm not a very specialist, right? Even right now, I am a product marketer at ZuddI. I'm not a UX designer. I entered as a UX designer in this same startup, which is ZuddI. And I was like, I think I was the first 5 people in the entire company, right? We were not even like 5 people. I was the first UX designer. I was responsible to design the entire MVP from scratch. So I knew that there's a lot of learning that would be there if I joined this role. And they paid me, right? Like, it's not like they paid me like a random kid, right? They paid me enough so that I can live a comfortable life. So I'm very grateful to ZuddI as well. And you can also do that. If you're good at what you're doing, any good VC backed startup or any startup that is profitable will pay you money, right? And you can target anywhere. So your target should be 65 to 70,000 rupees per month. Now, if you're not getting this, there can be 3 main reasons. 1, you are not good enough. Okay. Second reason could be you are pitching to the wrong companies. That is, you're pitching to startups that are not profitable or startups that are not VC backed. Or third, you are not reachable or visible. So you need to be visible on the internet so that people can find you. And it's okay even if they're not paying you 65,000, even if they're paying you 50k, that is still good enough. But then I keep seeing in my YouTube comments that people say that we are only getting paid 10,000 rupees, 12,000 rupees. What do we do? So the thing is, there are certain cities where these companies are based, right? So if you go to Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, if companies are based out of these places, they will actually have the appetite to pay you more. Another downside that I keep seeing in these comments is that when I say that show me your work, if they send me their work, I realize that it is really bad work. Their case studies are not good. Their quality of work is not good. In fact, we will be coming up with a very detailed video on how to write UX case studies. I already had uploaded a video on my YouTube channel, but now I will be uploading a detailed video on UX case studies again, right? So this is me in college. This is my friend Saransh. He was a developer. I was the designer, and we've done so many competitions together. We've been to Hack MIT, Hack Harvard. So it is him who used to develop all the things that I used to design. And this is me at Swiggy. This is at the Swiggy office. You can see that I'm wearing that badge as well. Very, very fortunate to have that experience. Right? So with that, we finished module number 1, where I compared freelance versus job, and I've given you a very true, real picture of how things turn out in the longer run. From whatever you have listened, understand what I'm trying to say with an open mind, and then pick things that are compatible with your priorities, your situations. Let's come to module number 2. Let's see a step-by-step roadmap that you can follow to pursue your career. Now, I see a lot of comments by students who are in school, and they say that should we drop out? Should we not go to college? Should we do things on YouTube? Please, folks, who is putting these ideas in you? If you're in school in 8th, 10th, 11th, 12th, no matter where you are, please follow these basics. These basics will help you more than anything. First, focus on building your health and verbal skills. And when I say health, invest enough time in your nutrition, build your charisma, improve your speaking skills. Now, a lot of people say, what do I mean by building health? Have sports in your life, or do some sort of gymming, do some sort of exercise so that your body is always healthy, right? You don't have to look like George Clooney, but you can always look the best version of yourself. While you're doing that, improve your verbal skills. Now, there are many YouTube videos for this. There are a lot of debating societies. There's a lot of MUN that happens in schools. All of these things really help you to improve your verbal and enunciation skills. Talk to your parents and make sure that your nutrition is on point. For charisma, I would recommend this YouTube channel called Charisma on Command. Terrible spelling, but yeah, Charisma on Command. In fact, I have also created a YouTube playlist called Improve Your Life that can also help you. In fact, even when you go on YouTube and just type glow up, many videos are there. Second, read as much as you can. Please, if you're in school, don't waste time trying to earn 5,000 bucks, 15,000 bucks, 20,000 bucks a month from all of these stupid reasons. Please read as much as you can. You will not get this time back again. Read Almanac of Naval Ravikant, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Listen to this speech called The Strangest Secret, and read this book called The Secret. I'm not gonna go deep into it. It's a quick overview of all these tips. Then on number 3, you should focus on getting a good degree or a good college after your 12th. See, I don't care what other people are telling you. Please do not skip college. Please go to college. It is not just about learning and education and memorizing. No, college is about life. It teaches you how life works. If you're in a good college, you get good alumni. You learn how this world works. You can always learn smartly and score marks without wasting 10 hours every day in your textbooks. So you have a lot of idle time on your hands in your hostel to meet other students, learn from them, go to college fests, go to college competitions, build your portfolio, and then take that time period to actually become a better person, right? Then practice user experience from my channel, right? I have already published so many free videos. There's a 15 episode course. I will put that list in the resources in module number 3, but start practicing everything that I'm teaching on my channel if you really want to explore UX. You don't need to pay anything to anyone. Then start writing and start learning how to prompt, right? So in point number 1, I recommended you to improve your verbal skills, but at the same time, start writing, improve your grammar, improve your articulation, right? Start writing on Medium, on Quora. Start replying to people on online forums. Check if your grammar is right. I have installed Grammarly Pro. You can do something like that as well. But Grammarly Pro might make you very lazy. So I would recommend you to just stick to like a normal texting autocorrection thing. But at the same time, learn how to prompt, right? So I have also launched a free ebook on prompt engineering, which is basically the art of talking to tools like ChatGPT or Google Bard. There's also Midjourney. We've uploaded all these free videos on my YouTube channel. Start learning AI tools, because if you learn these now, in the next 2 to 3 years, you will have a lot of leverage. Then in the end, if you really feel that all of these things are getting done, freelance after 8 to 10 months of experience. Right? Don't say no to college. Don't look at short-term money. Enroll yourself into a good college. Make sure you have a good degree. And then if you feel that you are really good at what you do, then you can do freelancing after 8 to 10 months of experience. Now, what to do if you are already in first year of your college? First of all, please make sure that you follow all the 6 tips that I have shared to the school kids, because these are foundations. You cannot skip them. Learn UX from my YouTube channel because it's all free, and start working for college fests and clubs, because that is like a mini world simulation of how the real world works, right? In any college, there are many competitions, many places where you can be a problem solver. Start volunteering. You will learn a lot. When you volunteer, you will build connections, and these college connections will really help you in the longer run. In fact, when you're working in these fests and clubs, usually students who are in the top 10% of the managerial positions often end up succeeding in real life as well. And if you're connected with these people in the college days, 5 years down the line, these same people will be connected to other successful people as well, right? So it's just about building connections when everybody is very young, so that as you grow up, all the connections compound, right? And you will learn social skills, and you also get an excuse to build your portfolio. Next, maintain a good CGPA. And I'm not saying this to get a job or to impress somebody. It's just a sign that you know how to manage your time and you know how to manage your brain, right? You don't have to ratify everything to get a good CGPA. You can always work smartly. It's just to keep your brains running. So I always made sure that I promised myself that I would never let my CGPA go less than 8.5, right? And I think when I graduated, my CGPA was something around 8.9 or something like that. So that is good, right? But if you feel that your CGPA is around 4 or 5, like it's really low, then something is wrong. You're missing out on either time management or discipline. Fix those things in college days, because fixing these things after college becomes very difficult. Stay away from bad habits. You will find a lot of people who will say, let's have a drink, let's have a smoke, let's do this, let's do that. Please stay away from them. See, I would not say that these things are terrible, these things are bad. I am not the right person to comment on these things. I have never done it. I have personally benefited from it a lot. A lot of my friends who avoid drinking, a lot of my friends who avoid smoking actually end up with more time and more energy and more soberness in their brain overall, right? So their health is maintained. It basically helps them a lot in the longer run. So just wanted to put this out in a very explicit way. Then participate in online hackathons. So I'm saying online because even if you don't have any offline hackathons going on, you can still do online, right? So I also uploaded a very detailed video on hackathons as well, right? So I shared my experience about Hack MIT, Hack Harvard, Microsoft Imagine Cup, mentioned every single thing in detail as to what you need to do to participate in good hackathons, right? So these things will really improve your skill set. And post about your work on the internet. Start building a social presence on LinkedIn and Instagram. I have created this video called the Insider Tips on Getting a Very Well-Paying UX design job. If you're in college, that one single video will really help. Now let's look at the most tricky scenario, what you should do if you're in placement year of college or another job altogether. See, you need to be very honest and check if you're actually good or not. And you can check that by literally showing your portfolio to anybody on any UX design mentor site. You can always check out ADP list. It's by a friend of mine, Felix. He's doing great work. There are so many mentors out there freely mentoring. Show them your portfolio, they will give you a good reality check. Now, if you are not good, just take the job, whatever it is that is in front of you, so that you can pay your bills. Because if you exit your college without good source of money or even like basic sources of money, your confidence will go down. You will lose faith in yourself, and it's very humiliating. I mean, I can't really say that, but from the experiences that I've seen and from the experiences I've heard, it is very humiliating for a graduated student to take money from his or her parents, because you feel bad, they keep asking you questions, they lose faith in you. It's a very difficult, tricky spot to be in. So it's always good to make your own money through a job, right? And you will always have free time, so you can use that free time to learn UX. Spend 8-9 months, learning all these things on your own, and then write your detailed UX case studies, right? So even for college students, if you're about to enter placement year, you need to write these detailed UX case studies. And I've already published a detailed video about this. There's one more video coming up which is going to be more detailed, so you can take clues from that. I have already mentioned this video, insider tips for getting a high paying job, so please follow that 5-step checklist for networking. So I actually teach how to build a network online, and then always ask for an internship. This I've already covered, so this remains the same for folks in their placement years as well. And understand how value is made. See, the thing is, if you're not good at what you're doing, you will not be able to give enough value. You will not have enough leverage to negotiate a good offer. Please make sure that you are building skills that help people either save time or make more money. Don't design to impress other designers. You need to design to boost profits. If you figure out how to do that, you will be sorted. So just to summarize, a good ideal path would look like this. You freelance if you're very young to go for a job. Once you are mature enough, you should apply for an internship in a good brand or apply for a job. To do that, you should follow the checklist that I have shared in the insider tips video, and then work in a job. And after working, when you feel that after 2-3 years you're very good at what you're doing, then you should freelance, because then you will actually be very good at what you're doing. So you can charge a very high amount to your clients abroad or in India. And then later on, a lot of freelancers, they either keep scaling as a freelancer or bring together 4-5 other designers to open an agency. But we don't need to get into that discussion, because a lot of my students here are young, so they're mostly confused about what they need to do immediately. So I think I've given answers to that. Now the question is, even when you're applying for internships or jobs, how to choose where to work, right? And we'll have a detailed video on this later on, because this is a very complex topic. There's a lot to consider. In fact, I would recommend you to check out Chetan's YouTube channel. It's called Design Pilot. He's also made a very good video on this. I think the title is called UX UI Salaries, if I'm not wrong. So there he did this breakdown itself, right? So there are 3 categories of companies. There are product companies, which basically make, say, B2C apps or B2B apps. Basically, let's just say Swiggy, right? That's an Indian app. It's a product that they're selling. So all the designers who are working in Swiggy work on the Swiggy app, right? So there's Swiggy, Zomato, Razorpay, Google, Microsoft. They all come under product companies, and product companies have the maximum salaries. So this is going to be your golden opportunity. This should be your rank number 1. Now, on second number, we have service-based companies, TCS, Deloitte Digital, Wipro. Basically, these companies consult other big brands. So if you're working in Deloitte Digital, it's not like you're making apps just for Deloitte. Deloitte might be consulting somebody else, and then you would be working on that company's project. So it's not like service-based companies pay you low. They actually pay pretty well. But in my own personal experience, product companies pay the maximum. And then at the very end, we have agencies like Lollipop Studio, where it's a group of creative people coming together. They have clients for 6 to 8 months. So here in agencies, some agencies pay very well. Only 3 out of 10 agencies pay well, but 7 out of 10 agencies do not pay well, because they themselves are in a very tricky spot. So if you're a beginner, right, if you feel that you are very bad, then you can always approach an agency and say that you can mentor me, and in exchange I can work at a low cost, right? So that is a trade-off that you can do. And this is only for a beginner agency. So even the beginner agency is looking for talent, you are looking for work. So it's like a win-win situation. But if you want to work in a good agency where they pay you well, or if you want to work into a good service-based company or into a good product company, then you need to be very good at what you do, right? Now, I can assure you that entering startups is the easiest. So in the product company itself, there can be established companies, there can be new companies, and there can be startups, right? Within the startups, in a product company, and this is where you can get good amount of money, right? Within a product company, if you choose a startup, please make sure they fulfill the following 4-part checklist. One, either they are highly profitable or they are VC backed, because you need to know that there is liquidity in the company, so you will get your salaries on time. They will also not feel hurtful or bad paying you that amount of money. Then the leadership is either wise or experienced, right? So of course a company can be founded by young kids, right? But if these young kids are not wise, they will not understand the value of design. They will not understand what you're doing. They will not understand the value of processes. But if they've been employees in bigger companies, then they would understand how design works. They would understand how processes work. So then it's easy to work with them. Otherwise, it is a mess to work with people who don't understand what is design systems for. All of those things, you will waste a lot of time. Then third, they have a good senior designer or a team of designers that can mentor you. But then, in my case, when I joined ZuddI, there was nobody, right? So I kind of liked that. I consciously signed up for that because I am a very intrinsically motivated person. Even if somebody doesn't tell me what to do, I will spend my whole day Googling, figuring out how to fix this, right? If you feel that you're not that intrinsically motivated and you need a little bit of hand holding and you feel very overwhelmed if you're doing things on your own, there's nothing to be shy about. Just go into a place where there's some leadership to guide you, right? And then in the very end, and I know that I've put this in the end, but this should probably be in the first part itself, that you are interested in the product. Otherwise, you will get bored, right? So I was always interested in Swiggy and the things that they did. I was always interested in ZuddI. So I never felt bad working day and night 24/7. Now, I'm not saying that you need to work 24/7. I'm not saying you need to hustle. I don't preach the entire hustle thing. But folks, if I love what I'm doing, if I have a goal in life, and if I want to achieve that, I happily go through the pain. I don't say that I am tired or hustle is bad, all of that. No, I want to hustle. So if you want to work hard, don't let anybody pull you out of it. But yeah, don't be in pain. I was never in pain. I was exhausted. I was tired, but I was never in pain. I was very happy working extra, right? So let's come to module number 3. We are almost at the end of our video. This is where I just wanted to share some important resources. So if you're here for the first time, I have actually launched a very, very detailed course on UX design. There's a playlist in Hindi and in English. The sad part is that very few people have actually seen the last 5 videos of this playlist, right? So this getting a well-paid UX design job, extremely valuable if you are applying for jobs, right? My first UX design job, here I have shared my experiences of what I did as soon as I joined a new company as a fresher. How did I manage my time? How did I learn things, right? Then how to get attention from others. This is a storytelling tutorial that can help you grow faster in your new company as a fresher, so you can create a very strong impression. And then there's a video which is a very extensive list of UX resources from Apple, Google and Figma. And then this video I've already mentioned. So the thing is, you can imagine only 4,000 or 5,000 people in this entire world have seen these videos, and in my opinion, they are extremely valuable. Right now, a lot of people look for resources. I have collected top 10 resources of this year, which are so valuable. You will not believe the kind of free resources you have on the internet, but students are unaware, right? So this video will give you that list. I keep talking about Notion. Again, very important reminder to each and every one of you that no matter what you're learning, please make sure you're documenting everything in a tool like Notion. Now, if you don't know what Notion is, just go to this video. I have taught how I use Notion. It's like a virtual diary where I keep documenting everything I learn. If you're in school and college, if you start documenting now, 4 years from now, you will message me saying, Ansh, thank God you made this video and taught us the value of documenting. Right now, if you're applying, you would always need a portfolio. Before we come up with a detailed video, you can always check out bestfolios.com, and here click on portfolios. You can also check out resumes and case studies as well, but you will have a long list of portfolios that you can learn from, right? So these are international portfolios. So there's a lot of inspiration available. There is also cofolios.com. So basically here you will see a lot of student work who have cracked really good jobs at Meta, at Apple, at Microsoft, and you can go through their profile, their case studies, their work, their resume, everything. So this is practical inspiration, right? This is real stuff that you can learn from. Again, there's this freelancing website called TopTal, and they have a very interesting blog on 10 inspiring UX designer portfolios. I will put the link in description, but there's a lot of inspiration in these 10 examples, right? There's also uxfol.io, basically UX Folio. And even here, when you click on showcase, they have given a lot of sample case studies, right? So UX Folio is a platform where you can make your portfolios, right? So you don't have to buy this, of course. You can consider buying it. I didn't buy it, but I saw the examples that they showed. Really cool stuff, really inspiring stuff. There's a Medium article that is 110 plus essential user experience portfolios for inspiration. But if you're on the free version of Medium, you might not have access to it. But if you have access to Medium, I will put the link in description. Very extensive Medium article, really valuable stuff. So yes, I hope this made some sense. We have covered a lot of information in this one video. If you have any doubts, please put them in the comment section. Let me know if you want me to pick any specific topic in the upcoming videos. In fact, good news is that we have been working on some very exciting videos on spatial design, which is basically for designing apps for the Apple Vision Pro. Trust me when I say this, if you watch that spatial design playlist, you will become a very valuable asset in the market. Apart from this, we've been uploading some very cool videos on ChatGPT and Midjourney. Make sure you check those out. I will put the link in description. If you put up a story on Instagram or LinkedIn, make sure to tag me on @anshmehra.ai. With that being said, I hope that you're taking care of your mind and body. This is your dost Ansh Mehra signing out. If you like this video, make sure you click on like and hit the subscribe button. I regularly upload videos on UX design, marketing and storytelling.